I can totally see us cooking in this kitchen.
I can totally see us cooking like pros with natural gas.
Oh, I would love to soak in that tub.
I'd love to save energy and money with a natural gas water heater.
I can imagine cuddling up in here.
Because natural gas heating keeps the house comfortable when we need it.
We have to get this house.
We have to get natural gas.
We're investing in infrastructure to help bring comfort and savings to you. Visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. This is the Texas post-game press conference from the Men's College World Series. We are joined by Ty Madden. If you have a question for Ty, please use the raise hand function. When you are called upon, please state your name and affiliation so Ty knows who is asking the question. Let's go to the first question from Danny Davis. Danny, go ahead.
Danny Davis, the Austin American Statesman. Ty, you guys know what you need to do going forward. How do you guys accomplish that and stay alive here? And Oman, how frustrating was today's result?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows it was frustrating, but on to the next day and just take things one day at a time and one pitch at a time. And I still believe in this team, and I think everybody here does. And we're not done yet.
Thank you. Let's go next to Kirk. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Kirk Bowles from the Austin American Statesman. Zach, was there anything difficult about Bednar's pitching that y'all weren't able to track or see the ball? And was there something wrong with y'all's plate discipline tonight?
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't in the box. I'm sure the hitters, it's got some good life on it, but we'll see what they have to say.
I'm just curious what you saw from the dugout though as a pitcher though.
I mean, I really don't pay that much attention to what the other team's doing. I really just focus on myself and how I want to attack the hitters the next inning, and don't really pay too much attention to what's going on the field while I'm pitching. I'm kind of in my own world in the dugout and creating a game plan for the next inning.
And did you feel like you had command tonight, Ty?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's go next to Dustin. Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Ty, not the result you wanted in terms of the win-loss, but for you personally, it looks like this is one of your better outings of the year. You had the fastball command, the change-up to the lefties, the slider down. Is that what you felt? When did you know this was going to be a good night for you?
Yeah, I knew from the start. Felt good in my legs, and change-up was really working, and I think that's kind of the most I've thrown it this year, and people have really been able to see it. And this was a more dominant left-handed lineup that I haven't really faced too much, so I think it was the most I've used my changeup all year. But yeah, from the get-go, I felt pretty solid. And slider, I knew after the first pitch I threw in the game that it had great depth, and especially with that shadow early, it was going to be tough to see that spinner.
Jeff, go ahead with the next question.
Jeff Howe, Horns 24/7. Ty, just talk about the job your defense did behind you tonight, specifically, Cy getting the runner there at third, and then the strike him out, throw him at the end. I think it was the seventh.
Yeah, I've said it all year that I think Cy is one of the best catchers in the country, and I think he put that on stage tonight, and hopefully he gets lots of love from that. But Cy's been terrific since I've known him. He's caught every single one of my games since he stepped on campus, and I love the kid, and he's just going to continue to grow, and the kid's going to have a long baseball career.
Nick, go ahead with the next question.
Yeah, Nick Moyle with the San Antonio Express-News. Ty, obviously, the rally in the ninth inning fell short, but, just to see the guys trying to battle back after that, especially after having such a struggle through the first 8 innings. I mean, what does it say about this team that y'all were able to kind of stage a little bit of a comeback and almost push this thing in extras?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of fight. I think everybody saw that. I love the kids on this team, and we preach all year that it ain't over till it's over, and so we're going to keep having that fight, and, yeah, I'm proud of these boys.
Cedric, go ahead with the next question.
It's right there for the dugout after the game.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, what did Coach Pierce say to you guys in the dugout right there after the game?
He just said that he'd go to battle every day with this team and that he believes in us. And even though it wasn't pretty, we're not done and we still got work to do.
And why do you think you guys are not done yet? What about the Texas Longhorns? What message do you have to the fan base? It's pretty disappointed tonight.
Just keep believing in us. I mean, we've done it all year. We've won in multiple ways, and yeah, like I said, this team's not done, and we're going to keep rolling. I still have faith in us, and y'all should as well.
Let's go to Cole with the next question, please.
Cole Thompson, LonghornsCountry.com. Ty, when you look at Pete coming in to close it out, how just impressed were you for him to be able to kind of pick up where you left off, and more importantly, for him to be in this kind of game for the first time? Overall thoughts on just his overall outing?
Yeah, I mean, he did his job. He did it extremely well. The kid's had an unbelievable year, unbelievable 2 years since he's been on campus, and he's adaptable, and I think you saw that tonight, and he's going to bounce back and be ready to go, whether it be the next game or start game 3. The kid's a team guy, and I'm proud of him, and I think he's going to continue to excel here.
And we'll do one final question with Danny Davis. Danny, go ahead.
Ty, while you were walking out the field or in the dugout, did Tristan say anything? And, is there – I'm assuming you have a lot of confidence in him if he is the guy that gets the ball on Tuesday.
Hey, Chris, John Sokoloff.
Yeah, just telling him to keep going. I mean, we've done it all year, and just have confidence. And I think confidence is huge in this game. And I told him I believe in him and I love him, and it's his time to go.
Ty, that'll do it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
We will be joined shortly by head coach David Pierce. If you do have a question for coach, you can use the raise hand function and we'll get started shortly. We are now joined by head coach David Pierce. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. If you could give us a brief opening statement, then we'll go to questions from the media.
Well, I thought both teams just pitched outstanding. I thought TY was really good early, attacked the strike zone. And, Bednar, we still hadn't figured him out. He's got a spin rate guy, and the ball just doesn't lose plane, and it just seemed like we were swinging underneath it the entire game. But and then Sims is Sims. We expected that. I thought we did a nice job of fighting there till the end. I was really impressed with Zach Zubia and Silas defensively. They played outstanding, made some big-time plays. So tough day offensively, tough ball game, but all we can do is get ready to work tomorrow and be ready to play on Tuesday.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll go to questions now. The first question will be from Dustin. Dustin, go ahead.
David, obviously these guys won't lack motivation, but how do you keep these guys' confidence up after the night they had in the batter's box?
Tough night. I mean, it's a humbling game, and every player that has played this game for any length of time has gone through a tough game like that. Tough to see it happen to them on a big stage, but maybe some of our youth came out today and just tried to force them at bats. But we just have to make some adjustments and understand our swing playing against two of the best guys in the country that maintain their playing without losing it. And tip your hat to them; they were outstanding.
And you typically don't address the team right after the game, but you had some words for them tonight. What was your overall message to them?
Well, I know how emotional the game was. I understand that, they're frustrated and feel like they let their teammates down. But my biggest message is that these guys have been together from day one, and 27 guys on the field just fighting every single day together, having fun together. Listening to their coaches, working hard. And so my message is, we'll continue to go to battle with guys that are preparing right, and we just got to get better tomorrow, and that's the game plan. Just don't listen to the noise. We know what happened. Don't listen to the distractions of what happened in the box, and be tough enough to get over it.
We'll go next to Danny Davis. Danny, go ahead.
Danny Davis, Austin American Statesman. David, I assume you'll be Tristan on Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay. And then we obviously, I don't know how much of Ty's pressure you caught, but, he had that mentality. We've been back against the wall before. I believe in this team. Did you see that without the dugout, or is it too kind of early to gauge that from these guys?
I didn't have to see that today. I've seen it all year. They've had each other's back. They're just awesome, the way they approach their day-to-day and how they have fun with each other as they're working hard. And that's just a tribute to their families. It's a tribute to their character, their integrity, and the way the coaches have worked with them. So, no, it wasn't anything surprising. I thought it was a hell of an at-bat by. I've been against really good stuff, and we just have to have more of that grit going into Tuesday's game.
Let's go next to Nick with the question. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, Nick Moyle with the San Antonio Express News. David, I think Will had, strikeout streaks of like 6 and 7 in tonight's game. And when you see guys going down consecutively like that, do you think it's kind of a snowball effect? Maybe, the prior at bat is sort of bleeding into the next at bat and so on and so forth?
Could be. You'd like to think that guys are able to separate their at bats and separate what just happened to the guy in front of them. But for me, it's just to understand the pitching issues and what's creating the hitting issues. And if the ball's going to hold plane, then we've got to work above the ball. And I think we just made slow adjustments.
And I asked Ty about this earlier, and he obviously, was proud of the way the guys rallied back in the ninth. What do you think about them after, striking out 21 times to come back and almost force it?
Well, you kind of broke up there, Nick.
Yeah, just, what do you think of your team, battling back in the bottom of the ninth after having such a tough day at the plate? What does it say about, I guess, just for mentality?
It's hitting stuff. There's a 2-1 baseball game. They did a nice job with 2 strikes hitting the ball down the line that was fair by inches and scored on a, tough play in the corner. So, if we strike out however many times and we strike them out however many times, at the end of the day, it's a 2-1 game. We didn't get a clutch hit, and they got one more than us.
We'll go next to Cole Thompson. Cole, go ahead.
Cole Thompson, LonghornsCountry.com. David, you kind of mentioned a little bit about Silas's defensive play tonight. For him to be able to those 2 big outs, especially with runners in scoring positions, just what did that do for Ty, and what do you think that did for the team, especially with that strikeout punch out to end the 7th inning?
It put the momentum in our dugout to go in and feel like we did a nice job defensively. So I made 2 big-time throws, actually 3. It just gives you a fresh breath. It allows Ty to get back in the dugout and catch his breath without going extra pitches. It just gives us an opportunity, and that's how good he was. He threw out some pretty good runners, and Ty's not real quick to the plate, but at the same time, he understands how to mix his timing. But I think one of them was a 3-2-1, and everybody in the ballpark knew he was running. And he does a nice job on the pitch, gets the strikeout, and then just throws a rocket to second.
And then just a quick follow-up for Pete, for him to be able to come in as a reliever. Just what does that say about his adversity, and what does that say about his, overall versatility as a player and as a pitcher?
Well, Pete wants to help this team win, and he understands his role this week. It means a lot. It means a lot that he's not concerned about if he's going to start or if he's going to pitch at all. He just wants to help this team win, and it's pretty obvious, and he goes out and continues to do that. That was more of his role his freshman year, so he hasn't lost that. And, he wants to go compete and help us win.
All right, Coach, we'll do a couple more questions. Next question is for Kirk. Kirk, go ahead.
Yeah, David, Kirk Bowles from the Austin American. I was curious how you rated that performance by Bednar, and is it almost just impossible to break up the rhythm of a guy when, he's in command like he was?
Well, what was tough, I don't know if it was a record for him. It was probably, close to a record of strikeouts for us, but if not a record, I don't know. But I do know that we never had a real opportunity to force some action and get him out of his comfort zone. So, credit him for creating that, and we just got to do a better job of finding ways to get to first base when we're not hitting a guy like that.
And how do you see your challenge? I think 4 top seeds all lost this weekend. How do you see the challenge ahead for y'all?
Well, it's the 8 best teams in the country, going head to head, and you need to create your breaks. And so, if you don't create your breaks, you're going to potentially have the same result. So, I think for us, and how we've always approached it, is that we're not going to be passive. We're going to be creative as possible, and we're going to go compete. That's one thing this young team has done, is they've went out and competed every single day. So I don't expect them to do anything different against a very good Tennessee team.
Go to Cedric with the next question. Go ahead, please.
Hey, David. Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. You coach a resilient team. You start 0-3 for the year. You struggle at the plate, the Big 12, but you still got to this point. How can those experiences coming through those fires, those challenges, benefit you guys moving forward?
Well, we challenged this team from the time that we got beat out in the Big 12 tournament, going 2-2, of putting our work in. I felt like this week offensively, as good of a job all year of just focusing on line drives in the middle of the field. So we'll continue to challenge them. We're not going to back off and feel sorry for them, and they're not going to feel sorry for themselves. So it's kind of what we do. We're going to go out, we're going to talk about the results, what happened, and how we're going to approach it. We can feel sorry for ourselves, or we can get to work, and I know that's what they're going to do, is they're going to put the work in. I mean, they got a lot of pride. I mean, they're young, most of them, but they're tough as nails, and they got a lot of pride. But still, Tuesday, there's no guarantees in this game. So it's our job to just get ready to play and get back here and compete.
All right, and the final question will come from Jeff. Jeff, go ahead.
Jeff Howe, Horns 24/7. David, the outfielders on both sides were having trouble, catching up to the ball with the way the wind was blowing out. For both sides, was that just kind of worst case scenario tonight with, adjusting to the park on top of the wind, on top of the shadows?
I think the wind was even stronger above the stadium than any of us can imagine. It was a perfect night to hit some pop-ups for sure, but in a very unusual score of a 2-1 game, the way the wind was howling, and very unusual for here. But it was a completely different environment than probably both teams' outfielders have played in. It's not just the wind blowing out, but different areas of the ballpark that catch it and then allow it to take off. The first fly ball to Doug looked like it was going to be a ball that Mitch possibly catches, and then Doug comes in and has to basically sprint to get behind the ball and make the catch. So, yeah, it's stuff you prepare for, you talk about, but you still got to go out there and do it. Not to mention there's sun and wind and deep sky today. So with shadows, the whole infield was shadowed. So it was a tough day to play outfield for sure, and I thought we did a nice job just hanging in there.
Coach Pierce, thank you so much for your time tonight. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys, appreciate it.